All right, well, let's get started. This is Ken Archer. I'm SVP of Product here at Upwave, and today is a pretty big day. We're going to announce the beta release of a feature that's pretty revolutionary for campaign measurement, and that is tactic level portfolio analytics. You know, it's a long phrase, a long name for a feature, but it answers a question that brands have not been able to get answered before, and is one of the most pressing questions that brands have around their media. So with that, I'm going to pass the mic over to Jeremy O'Brien, Senior Product Manager here at Upwave, who's going to walk us through this exciting new feature. Over to you, Jeremy.
Thanks so much for the introduction, Ken. Again, today we're talking about tactic level portfolio analytics, optimizing tactics across all your brand campaigns at once. So advertisers with a portfolio of brands and campaigns typically have granular campaign specific data that comes from different measurement partners. Now, this makes it challenging to make portfolio-wide optimization, investment, and partnership decisions. And as an answer to these challenges, Upwave is very excited to introduce a true breakthrough in campaign measurement: tactic level portfolio analytics. What are tactic level portfolio analytics? Well, that's what we're here to talk about today. So we've made the tactics you measure in individual campaigns available for you to compare across your whole portfolio of measured campaigns, so that you can compare multiple campaigns, KPIs, and tactics in a single view that can power all sorts of strategic meta-analysis. It's really easy to find. The tactic level analysis lives within our portfolio view. So once logged in on app.upwave.com, simply use the context switcher in the upper right-hand corner of the page to select portfolio. Now from there, in portfolio, you can use the campaigns pane in the left-hand sidebar to select which campaigns you would like to compare. You can do the same for KPIs, selecting the KPIs that you've measured across your campaigns that matter to you for a particular analysis. Here's where the magic is. It's time to slice and dice. By selecting the Cuts tab, you can choose tactics from across your campaigns to compare against each other. The table automatically populates with campaigns organized by tactic. For each tactic, a weighted average with a confidence interval is calculated. And that's based on the KPIs and the campaigns that you choose. And you can take that analysis and collapse it to a tactic level so that you can easily compare weighted averages by tactic to provide you with at-a-glance benchmarks. It's really exciting. It's easy and it's fast. And marketers can now gain insights into whether a tactic performs better for one brand over another, whether certain tactics perform better or worse across a set of your campaigns, and quite powerfully, what custom KPI lift benchmarks are for your tactics with a typical range across them. These insights can help marketers to make optimization decisions across their campaign tactics. They can empower them to negotiate with more information with their media partners at the enterprise level. And additionally, they can help to guide strategy around the use of data, first-party versus third-party performance across categories, all with self-serve access, as you are used to on the Upwave platform. Let's take a look at the benefits in a few real-world scenarios. The first one from a brand's perspective. So the head of brand marketing at a major CPG company is negotiating with a video streaming service and needs to assess its performance across dozens of brand campaigns. Using tactic level portfolio analysis, she is able to view multiple years worth of campaign results at a glance, to compare the platform's performance against other media partners, and also to identify which tactics performed best with the specific streaming service that she's focused on. With just a few clicks, she was able to determine that the platform performed slightly lower in terms of KPI lift overall, but that interestingly, it was more effective for a key growth brand than the alternatives. So equipped with this intelligence, she was able to confidently negotiate based on her overall portfolio performance, while still supporting a future growth opportunity with a cost-effective partnership. That's really powerful stuff. Let's take a look at things from the publisher's perspective. The VP of Analytics at a major publisher is tasked with refreshing benchmarks for ad effectiveness by ad type and by vertical. The latest portfolio features make the task a much lower level of effort than it has been in the past. He searches and selects for groups of campaign that fall under the different verticals, and he uses the cuts pane to isolate video and display ad types. The table updates with these selections so that he can easily compare KPI benchmarks for display and video for multiple verticals, and thereby set lift performance expectations by ad type, enabling him to prioritize media products for each vertical. With tactic level portfolio analytics, the VP surfaced that in-stream video ads drove the highest awareness for automotive brands, but traditional display ads were most effective for financial products. Taking this information, the VP shifted placements for the respective verticals accordingly. And as a result, the publisher saw brand KPI lifts double, and in turn was able to secure more renewals and better product utilization, garnering greater investment from advertisers across products in subsequent time periods. We're very excited to bring tactic level portfolio analytics to our customers. Upwave is proud to be the first software as a service platform to deliver brand campaign performance that is at once detailed and comprehensive. So now that you're able to easily compare results across an entire portfolio of brand campaigns in a single view, to view KPI lift performance of your tactics based on sets of campaigns that you select, and to create custom KPI lift benchmarks for brands, categories, tactics, media products, verticals, campaign types. Truly, the sky is the limit. That is tactic level portfolio analytics, and I am Jeremy O'Brien. Let me turn it back to Ken.
Thanks, Jeremy. This is an exciting capability. This has never been possible, even on a custom research basis to get these questions answered. And now it is possible to get them answered on a self-serve basis with data that's updated every day. So for those of you participating, you can submit questions into the Q&A or the chat. We've got some questions here. So Jeremy, how are averages weighted to arrive at these benchmarks?
It's a great question. So just like we do when weighting averages for campaigns, when weighting averages for cuts of campaigns, we use the standard error. That standard error accounts for confidence that you can have in the result and reflects an interval for that confidence. So when weighting multiple campaigns for a particular cut, we take that standard error into account and we share confidence intervals for every weighted average. A user can easily hover right on the table of lift statistics and see just how confident they can be in a particular result.
All right. Next question. I don't have a learning agenda for my campaigns. So how can I still use tactic level portfolio analytics?
Sure. So learning agendas are used by many advertisers and marketers to codify what they seek to understand, the information or intelligence they seek to gain from measurement of a particular campaign or marketing initiative. But that's okay. Tactic level portfolio analytics works just fine for, ex post facto analysis. By that, I mean reviewing multiple campaigns to try to understand what about those campaigns worked well and what about them didn't. Are there patterns or trends that you can find? As long as you're using a consistent naming convention across your campaigns, that is exceedingly easy to do.
All right, the next question relates to what you just said, Jeremy. We don't use naming conventions across campaigns. So will this work for us?
That depends on what you're looking to compare. If you have so depending on what you are using across your campaigns, how you are naming different tactics, the comparisons will be either easier or harder. Some things are pretty standard. And that means that even without a consistent naming convention across all of your cuts, you might still be all right. But the good news is that we at Upwave can help with that and work together with you in order to map tactics for historic campaigns, if that's a pressing business need for you to get value out of tactic level portfolio analytics. So all is not lost.
Okay. Similar question. I've only measured a dozen campaigns with Upwave. This looks cool, but is this something I can still use?
Sure. Yes. So the more campaigns you measure with Upwave, the more results you have to mine, and the stronger, the greater the likelihood you're using similar tactics across those campaigns, and the more data you have to base your intelligence on. That said, even with just a few campaigns, well, you can compare any number of campaigns using portfolio analytics. And even with just a few of them, you can review publisher, audience, or targeting without jumping between reports and dashboards. You can look at that in one single place. Makes it a lot easier to understand how those campaigns are performing when compared with one another, even if you're not looking at averages of performance across them.
Yep. And last question, as a publisher, I don't have a portfolio of brands. How can I use portfolio analytics?
That's a great question. So portfolio analytics supports grouping of campaigns into really any sort of group a user would like. So one thing publishers have done is to group campaigns by customer verticals, as was expressed in one of the examples I shared, CPG, finance, health, etc., and then evaluating the typical performance based on those verticals, which can help them to better set expectations when they're marketing their platform or their products, and also to pitch customers. Benchmarking performance of your different media products and ad units in different parts of the funnel is another thing that we've heard, looking at different KPIs and understanding which parts of a product suite, a media product suite, speak best to those. So there are a number of ways that that customers across the ecosystem, brands, agencies, and advertisers get value out of tactic level portfolio analytics.
All right. Well, that's all the questions we have. If you have more questions or would like to learn more about Upwave, please visit us and contact us at upwave.com. And we will have another expert update coming up in 2 weeks. Until then, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much, everyone.